Learn to be super successful. Subscribe to my channel, Meathead. Good evening, boys and girls. It's like the seminar. It all comes at the end, like sex. I'd be naive if I thought that you absorbed everything that you were taught, because first of all, you've already been heard from some of the superstars that you can't absorb everything. So I'm not going to go down that line. But you know enough. Even with a 40 to 60%, depending on your IQ, that you absorb, you need more. You've got more than enough knowledge, more than enough QLA expertise to do a deal, get a chairman, get a board, etc. Again, I've said it till I'm blue in the face. I had a dream last night that my face actually turned blue. Blue in the face that. Not all the questions you ask, but almost all the questions you ask don't mean a shit. I like to say that they did to make the people feel better that asked a lot of questions. But most of you that asked a lot of questions are based on self-sabotaging activities. And unfortunately, based on your own backgrounds, now that I've pinpointed that, at various stages of the seminar, the first afternoon, the second afternoon, the third morning, the fourth, or maybe even this morning, you got sick to your stomach knowing that I'm right. And again, don't go home and beat up your parents, because that's pissing in the wind, and don't waste time on things you can't change. From this point forward, starting tomorrow, you can change. Excuse me, some of you have already started to change. And the kids that change the fastest and stay focused the longest win. It's that simple. And even though I've told you some what you would consider horror stories about successes that take years, you're all going to be better off. But some of you will be better off sooner than later, and some of you will make a lot of money sooner than later. But I mean, Thomas brought it to light in a way that is refreshing to me, but looking at your face, it was sickening to you. Because he told you the facts. And when he said that only a couple of you are going to make it, a couple of you are going to be like him. Now, I want you to all be like him, but I've been doing this a long time, and I realized that, it's like, even though I was a poor athlete, and I was maybe the poorest guy on the 40-man squad, we had to be winning 42-2 for me to get put in. The guys that were in there, they went both sides, defensive and offensive stars. There's only one or two of those, right? But if you really want it, it's there. Now, money's not everything. It just isn't. But it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. And for those of you that really want to change the world, I'm not one of those individuals. I'm living vicariously through you. You can. As we talked about, find something that changes a billion lives. And you'll not only change the world, but you're a billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg is a classic example. I'm not sure that anybody in recent years has changed more lives than Mr. Zuckerberg. But if you don't go out there fucking smoking and leave everything else aside, the odds are you're not. And as I've told you many times now, and then you'll go on some social media and QLA didn't work, and really every one of those negatives, QLA doesn't work, it's because it didn't work for them, it's because they didn't put forth the effort, or they gave up. And you never know for sure, although I've got a pretty good idea. But when I used to tell people in the beginning, based on the tests, which I already told you about, it became more of a self-fulfilling thing. In other words, even though I may have been wrong about 2 people or 4 people, they became not effective because I told them they weren't going to be effective. So we don't tell them that anymore because every once in a while I get surprised. Not too often, but every once in a while I get surprised. And of course, it's refreshing to me when I am surprised. Not refreshing to me because I'm wrong, because I don't like being wrong. I'm no different than the President Trump. I don't like losing. But I am wrong once in a while. And I would like, I hope and I tell every seminar that this is the group that's going to prove me wrong across the board. Well, that hasn't happened yet. But I am surprised once in a while. I got some emails almost every day. Kids you would not bet $1 billion on or against that have succeeded. That's taken them 2.5 years. But 7 million euros in 2.5 years is better than a poking at with a sharp stick. And it's better than anybody in this fucking room has done. Even though I think it's chump change. 7 million euros in 2.5 years is okay. I'm not going to brag about it, but you certainly will brag about it if you only do as bad as the worst 7 million euros in 2.5 years. It's there. This is our time. And they're already starting to pick apart the cure, which I laughed about yesterday, and they're picking apart more and more and more. And now some of the scientists are saying that it was unprofessional on this, and they should have never come out. Well, that's neither here to me, there to me. But it has not given the people, our target market of motivated sellers, it might have given them 5 minutes to take a deep breath, but now they're drowning again. And it's up to you to take advantage of it. And as one of you said, you were their savior. Now, I don't look at it that way, but if that's what it takes for you to utilize this, that you got to save these cocksuckers, that's fine. That dog personally doesn't hunt for me. I wouldn't piss on the planet's face if it were on fire. My last drop of urine, I wouldn't put the fire out. But I'm a minority, as we all know. I like to say instead of minority, because I am a minority, I'm an anomaly. And you will find that you are the only guys and gals that are out here doing this. There's no competition. The only competition you're going to have are when you run into each other once in a while. And that doesn't happen too often. Why? Because there's literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of potential things we can buy. And I only put out a couple hundred, most. This year I won't because of Corona, a couple hundred of you a year. So if you divide 200 times 25 years into millions of prospects, it's doubtful that you're going to bump into each other. But I want to toast you a drink, and then we're going to have the graduation ceremony. That, as I've said now for 27 and a half years, I want you to go out there and rip their fucking neck off and rip their head off and shit down their neck. To Quantum Leap. Cheers.